In 2 weeks, Miranda.
I know. I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have another member.
Really? How are
Yes.
we? We should get emails or something.
I haven't seen any emails come in.
Okay.
I have been popping in
Okay.
and I'm like, oh, well.
Okay.
Um,
Very curious how people find us, but okay.
yeah. So, yeah, we have two.
Okay.
On Monday, that's my first day with this new job. So
Monday. Okay.
yep. Um, I'll have to I can't do Monday, just period, because I know
Oh,
that I'll
that's
be
fine.
doing whatever.
Yeah.
And until I get my computer and get everything set up, I'm just not going to know what my schedule is. Um,
Yeah. I
and
don't think, well, I mean, why don't you start Monday and we'll figure it out? Like, there's nothing on our calendar, but I think that's okay, unless you disagree. Um, hmm?
no, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have to like get my bearings, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm sure you do too, especially with all the change and starting. I do see that this woman is in the digital growth community, which is the marketing thing. So maybe she found us that way. I have no idea.
Oh,
Janet.
sure.
But why don't
Okay.
I see this other lady? Like, how do you see new people? You
Um,
just happen to notice?
I just had, yeah.
You just
And
click on
okay,
members?
yes. Let me see.
Okay. And this Jenny, I like that you can click on them and you can see. So she has her own group, Resilient Mamas Tribe. So that's cool. Cool. Yeah, well, I'll definitely try and post something in there soon. Um,
Yeah, I just sent a few messages and like to them, which
good, good.
I don't know if you can see those. It was just like, hi, happy to see you here, blah, blah, blah. Looking forward to meeting you.
Okay. It does send an automatic thing that says, "Hey, welcome to the group. Message me here if you need help with anything. Ashley and I are super excited you are here." So that automatically goes, I think, when they join.
So, which which book did you get? Did you get Change Your Questions, Change Your Life? That
Yeah,
one?
I was reading it on the plane.
Okay.
What?
Mind blowing for
The
me.
book?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then okay, so I did a few things in the meantime. Okay, so I'm working with this coach and it's been really, really good. Um, and then do you know who Edie Wadsworth is?
No, you've mentioned her.
Okay. Well, she had like ran some ads or something, I don't even know. But I watched her confidence code and
Okay,
I was just like, "Oh my God.
okay.
This sounds freaking amazing." So I joined her whatever, her like it's a year program.
Hmm.
It was like not even it wasn't even $1,500 for the
Hmm.
whole year. And I'm like, that's freaking cheap.
Yeah.
And so I went through orientation, like the videos and everything, and I'm just like, I'm so blown away because she talks so much about mindset.
Mm.
And I mean, I have listened to so many people Joe Dispenza, Lipton, like Bruce Lipton, all the people, all these different things about mindset and about our thoughts and all this stuff, right? And as I've been working with Shannon too, the life coach, just the regular
Oh,
life coach that I'm working
yeah,
with,
yeah.
um, she has brought some different perspectives. And okay, so the perspective number one is the patterns. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we essentially what happens when we're young is we learn these patterns, and they can be behavioral patterns, they can be thought patterns, whatever it is. And then there's also conditioning, so we can be conditioned to be a certain way and to function a certain way. And then that is like programmed into us,
Mm-hmm.
which, essentially we're either being set up for success or for failure. And a lot of times it's the latter.
Yeah.
Well, it was like my mind just between all of these different things coming together. And it's like this puzzle I
Mm.
feel now is like complete.
Wow.
And through a lot of what Dr. Edie says and like how she teaches it, it is like, holy shit. It makes
Awesome.
so much sense. Okay. So the patterns, okay, like the not good enough,
Yeah.
those things, how is that helping you to have
Oh,
that
it's
thought?
not. It's not.
Hey, so who would you be without it?
Mm. Yeah. Sky's the limit, probably.
Yeah. And so it's okay. So when you look at it from the learner judger,
Mm-hmm.
the learner is saying, who am I? Because I am enough.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the judger is the yucky, little devil.
Yep.
And so essentially, those thoughts, both of them, are going to create a chemical cocktail.
Mm.
So we're either going to be filled with love and joy and excitement and like energy, like this positive energy, or it's going to be like, it's going to
Suck the
be
life out of you.
stress and anxiety and raised cortisol. And then you know what happens when you have raised cortisol?
Mm.
It increases insulin. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Insulin holds on to fat.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm just like,
Wow.
yeah. And that's
Awesome.
where I don't even know how it happened. Something did where it was like all of a sudden my brain was stuck in the muck.
Yeah.
And all of these, like these negative things, even though I'd have some days where I'm like, it's so great and blah, but this has completely shifted everything for me.
But
And I cannot even tell you, like, I had my call with GoDaddy yesterday, and there was
okay.
some stuff that I hadn't finished it. Part of me was procrastinating, and part of it too, you know, we can create like some of the thoughts that we have will also create like resentment or bitterness, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And so I feel like there were some thoughts that were doing that, and
Yeah.
not necessarily being 100% mindful. I would say a little bit. Um, this is a work in progress.
Yeah.
Um, because I want to be able to see things in truth, not just from my opinion or how I feel or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and so essentially, some of those thoughts were causing me to like procrastinate and to hold back and not
Hmm.
get as much done as I could.
Right.
And so yesterday, and I was like, I'm getting this stuff done. And the my account manager is like, well, just be kind to yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And I was like, thank you for the reminder. It's like all good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm holding myself accountable. And I'm like, I'm finishing this stuff up. I'm getting it done. It's not even hard.
Yeah.
It's just sitting my butt down and doing it.
Yeah.
And so I did. Like I got
Nice.
all of that done. And now they have pretty much everything. I have to do some photos, and editing of the
Hmm.
photos because I don't know, they're just sucking because they're not as bright as I want them. But otherwise,
Mm.
I have everything in for my website.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because like that's my goal. And one of
Yeah.
the really cool things about Dr. Edie is she has these planners.
Okay.
That's a 90-day planner.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make one, um, kind of based off of this. I'm gonna use this as a template. Um, but I want to make my own because there's some different things that I would add and
Yeah.
um whatnot.
Hmm.
But the concept is huge because the whole thing is meeting your goal in 90 days, not in a whole year. It's 90
Hmm.
days, so
Yeah.
you chunk your goals essentially.
Yeah.
And like I have two. And one of the, I mean, I want my stuff for my website done like this month. Everything on my
Yeah.
end is done this month. And like I'm
Yeah.
gonna blow that freaking goal out of the water.
Love it.
Um, but yeah, so
Awesome.
that's
Love
where
it.
I'm at.
That's great. Sounds like major breakthrough.
Hmm.
I
Oh
love it.
yeah. Well, so I had an episode. I'm gonna call it an episode. A spiritual battle on Sunday night. Dude, I didn't hardly sleep at all. It was
Mhm.
so bad. And it was just going back and forth. Like everything from the whole weekend just led up to it. And then like I know I'm close to my period too, so that's just lovely.
Yeah.
And so I was basically going back and forth. It was like learner judger, and it was horrific. Like I'm not kidding. Like I really feel like it was a major spiritual battle.
Hmm.
And from that, I learned, wow, we actually have way more control over our thoughts than we even realize.
Hmm.
Once you start questioning them and going, okay, how is this thought benefiting my life? How is this thought impacting my body?
Hmm.
And I am just like, holy, I like, it's
Yeah.
hard to even explain. And it's like, wow, I just feel like so empowered. And that's what I'm doing every day, and then one of the things that Dr. Edie says, like you can do a thought creation where you write down like your limiting thoughts and then like how they make you feel. I don't even know if I can do that right now because I don't want to, like, I don't even want to necessarily see those thoughts because I know that they're not good for me.
Hmm.
When they do come up, I will address them at that point.
Yeah,
My thought creation though is like I am capable. I am powerfully and wonderfully made. Like that is where my focus is,
yeah,
and if some of those things come up, I'm like, okay, my brain is trying to offer me this thought. Do I want this? How is this going to help my life? And if it's
right.
like, ooh, and then I'm like, get the out of here. No, you
Hmm.
don't get to be in me.
Love it.
So it's totally shifting.
So help me with this because I just got back from 10 days of off of work, and my thought right now is just dreading work. And I'm trying to switch it to gratitude. But I keep hearing it popping in. All right,
What's the
like I get
thought?
an email. The thought is just like it's like I don't want to do this. This doesn't bring me joy. Why am I still stuck here? How come I'm not doing more to get out of where I'm at?
Okay. Is that, well, like where are you at? Learner or judger?
Well, definitely judging myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how could you get curious about, answering your email?
I guess I just keep thinking, I'm on a high from where I was, this mastermind. Like, I'm like, anything is possible. But I do feel thoughts creeping in, like, are you sure? You haven't done it yet. Why can you now? Like, I can totally hear that, and I'm aware of them. So I guess my thought process is like, I want to be consistent in building this business simultaneously. I do believe I can do that and leave my job, but I think there's a unbelief in there somewhere.
Mhm.
Um, but again, I know I'm in a different place than I was a week ago. And I just pray that this like feeling, this joy, this excitement, this belief stays there because I like that. I want to hold on to that because that does keep me excited and like eye on the prize kind of thing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay. So, um, what what thought can you think that is going to create in you the feeling of excitement towards your business? Because that's
I
what you want
mean,
to focus on. Like the
yeah,
whole thing with like this creation cycle is you create the thought that's going to drive the feeling that's going to drive the actions.
okay.
So if say you need discipline, what thought do I need to create discipline, the feeling of discipline within myself to keep me moving forward? Do you see the intentionality of that?
Oh yeah,
Like
totally.
it's incredible.
Hmm.
And that alone, like that freaking excites the crap out of me. I'm just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
we do. Like we literally have so much power over our thoughts and those
Yeah.
feelings. And like that's literally what I have been like that's why I woke up this morning and I'm just like fucking powerhouse right now. Like that's how I've felt all morning. And I'm just like, we're getting shit done. Like boom, boom,
Love
boom,
it.
you
Love
know?
it.
But those are like I'm having those thoughts that are creating the emotion, the feeling to
Yeah.
drive me
Yeah.
to like not procrastinate. Like I said to Kelsey yesterday, I'm gonna have these to you by the end of the day.
Hmm.
And I've said this crap before. And then it's like,
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it since I said it the first time. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she's probably thinking, I've heard this before from this woman. I'm like, no, I'm holding myself to the word that I spoke and I'm doing it. Like, this
Yeah.
shit is getting done because you know what? I don't want to work a regular
Right.
job. Like
Right.
I believe there's a purpose
Yeah.
for me doing this temporarily, whether it's like 6 months or 8 months, whatever. But my goal is to not have to do that forever or ever again,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like what thought do you need to focus and then focus on it, you know?
I mean, when you're saying that, I feel like I'm focusing on the person that needs to hear my message and the person that I can inspire and that feels like I do, and that I get to use this story, this experience to help somebody else. And I just want to make an impact. And I know that feeling because I've done it. And so I guess I have to think about the person. Like, I think I have to have like a visual of this woman, like praying on her knees, feeling stuck in a job, and, whether we help them in our community or however. And a part of me is like, this is why I'm still here because I'm feeling it. Like it will drive me, it will push me. So what is your thought what's your thought you're focusing on that's driving you?
Well, I have kind of a bunch of them.
Mm.
Um, so the other day, the girls and I were in working, and that time with them, was amazing. And and then, I look at the the beauty in all of the time that Chris and I have together. Like tomorrow, we're going to Minnesota to go buy a backhoe. Okay. Well, if I'm working a job, I, you know, granted, I think this job is going to be even more flexible than my
Yeah,
last job
yeah,
because my director is sending a hotspot for me so I can work from anywhere if I need to.
love it,
Yeah.
love it.
Okay. So that I'm like, it's a value for one. Like my babies, I value so much. I value them as a person
Yeah,
and the time that we get to spend together. And like it was hilarious because we had to pipe the little 2 ouncers and like we had 24 in a batch. And Faith is like, I want to pipe those. And June's like, no, I want to pipe those. And like, they look little kids. And I was just laughing.
Right?
And they're like going back and forth. And then June was just being very ornery. And all of a sudden I hear Faith say, you bitch. Like they were joking, like it
Yeah.
wasn't in a bad way, but it was
Yeah.
just hilarious. That is what I want.
Yeah.
That is what is important to me,
Yeah.
and it's like, um, so I look at that too. So, it's really important for me to be with my girls
Yeah.
and have that time like I did the other day, like I have, you know, the whole time. And
Yep.
so my thought is I'm doing whatever it takes to do this.
Yeah.
My products are very good. I know
Yeah.
that. And I've felt like, oh, but I'm like, just stop it. That's not helping you. Don't even go there. That's bullshit. And so like this has been my process for like about a week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, what else can I focus on
Yeah.
to move the needle?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I love about this is you look at it every day. First thing,
Mm-hmm.
like one of the first things in the morning, you sit down, and you're like, okay, what do I have to do? Like these little tasks, schedule in, this is just an empty page, but schedule
Yep.
in XYZ,
Yep.
you know, and so like I'm getting so much more done than two.
Mm.
So for me, it's going to be a little bit different. And um, so when you think about the thought that you need, um, okay, first let's back up. What what emotion, like what do you need? Like what emotion do you need? Like what feeling do you need, I guess? Do you want something that's going
Joy.
to,
Joy.
okay, so joy. Um, and then you said consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because and that's what I heard you say is you need consistency to continue in your business.
Mm-hmm.
What does what thought would create fuel like that emotion of consistency? Because I think it's going to come to, I think your consistency and your joy are going to intermingle.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just got off of 10 days off, so I'm excited to get back into structure and a rhythm and a planner because I've not been on one for a while, right? And I'm ready to get back into routine. And I've been asking myself for a few months, like, what do I want my day to look like, right? How do I want to start my day? What do I enjoy doing? And I want to go to the gym and I want to go for a walk and I want to care for myself. But I also need to make sure my business is a consistent piece too. So I'm just kind of figuring out, asking myself what that looks like within my full-time job day too.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's just figuring out what that looks like. Like I would love to go live every day because that's kind of part of the model. And it, I don't want to say it scares the crap out of me. I actually think I would enjoy it because I love talking. I love pouring into people. I love showing people what's possible. I was thinking about doing it on a walk every day, and I think I could multitask, right? I can walk
Mhm.
and I can talk. And so anyway, I'm just kind of like picturing what brings me joy? What do I want my day to day look like? And this is like forever, right? Like 10
Mhm.
years from now, I only want to work 2 hours a day and spend time with those I love and take care of myself and all the things. But again, I'm just having these thoughts about work. And again, it feels like it's getting in the way, but I just have to change the thoughts, I guess, and just focus on
Yeah. Okay. So, um, when when you have that thought of work is just getting in the way, how does that making you feel?
annoyed, frustrated, pissed.
Okay. So how helpful is that thought?
Not at all.
Okay. So how can you be curious about it?
Curious? I don't know. I mean, I try to turn to gratitude, like thankful I have a flexible job that I get to choose when I, for the most part, I mean, I have calls I have to attend to, but like I get to choose when I respond and when I work.
Something
So
that
again,
go ahead.
I try to focus on gratitude,
Mhm.
but I don't know how well it's working. Mm.
So something that I noticed in myself when I was at Centene was like what I was telling myself. And granted, like there a lot of the leadership stuff wasn't had an impact on a lot of things on our day to day.
Yeah.
And the workload was not getting any lighter. Like it
Yeah.
was okay. So the whole thing about like right now, I'm going to work this job and it's basically it's like it's shifting. It's shifting the thoughts because how I was looking at it was negative. It wasn't positive. It wasn't helping me.
Hmm.
And so I'm looking at this as okay, what lessons am I going to learn?
Okay.
How am I going to grow by being in this job? What is this teaching me that I am going to be able to use in my business as a person, like whatever it is. And so changing the thoughts and the perspective, it makes me feel hopeful,
Yeah.
because and granted, there's a thought that like my brain is wanting to offer me is like, how are you going to get everything done?
Yeah.
That one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that thought. And
Hmm.
so, it's like, oh, how am I going to get everything done? Oh, guess what? I have this that I'm going to
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
And one of the fantastic things about this is when you write down your goals. So I have my goals, I have my two goals written down, and they're quite detailed. And then
Hmm.
it says, what tools am I going to use? Okay, that's getting curious. And I want to say was it in, I don't know if it was in the book or if it was I think it actually was in this other thing it was just like this little, I don't know, like a webinar that I was listening to about anxiety. And the guy was talking about how curiosity trumps everything when it comes to getting out of fear, doubt, anxiety, all of that crap.
Hmm.
And so it's like, oh, how am I going to do it? And like looking at it from that perspective, because our brain always wants to keep us safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
And those crappy
Yeah.
thoughts, like,
Yeah.
kind of do that, but really make us feel like.
Yeah.
And so changing it, like change your
Hmm.
thought, change your question. How am I? How am I going to do it?
Yeah.
You know? And so how can you reframe how you're looking at your job? Because I can, like, it's from what I'm seeing, it's not helping you.
No, it's not. And I know that. Um, I mean, when you say that, I think of like I'm learning time management. I'm learning structure. Like I get to like it could be fun to figure out and decide. Like I feel empowered, right? I get to decide when I'm doing this and how I'm doing this, and again, just gratitude. But also kind of like excited to do the things I love so that I can do less of the things I don't.
Yeah.
And I can feel that like what like driving me.
Another shift so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, Chris and I went, oh, it was like 100 miles to look at a different backhoe. And we left in the afternoon, later kind of ish afternoon. And I was just thinking on the way there, and I was like, we take life too seriously. It's like um Andrew, God, I can't remember his last name, but one of the guys that I've followed for a while on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure Jen follows him too. He's like, make everything fun. Like, make
Yeah.
your work like a game,
Hmm.
because then it's way more enjoyable. And
Yeah.
so, like, I heard him say that a long time ago, and now it's just like coming back to me.
Hmm.
And it's just like when we're in a state of more of a state of fear. So Dr. Edie, she says you're either in one of two places. You're either in love or fear. And then she
Okay.
has all kinds of examples. I don't know if I took a screenshot of that one. If I didn't, like, I'll go back and I'll find it
Hmm.
because it's really, really good. And I could probably
Hmm.
add a few things to it. Um,
Hmm.
but it's really good because it's like once you have that awareness, it's like, oh shit. Like I have been operating so much from the judger fear
Yeah.
and it's like, oh God, that's gross.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
ugh, no. And I think part of me held myself back from really living in this place of love and joy and excitement because I was worried about what the other people were going to think of me. Like, oh,
Yeah.
she's just so happy all the time, like all the naysayers. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm
Yeah.
done with this bullshit. Like, I am not going to sit there and disrespect myself anymore and not love myself and love all the amazingness that Yahweh has given me. Like, that's so stupid just
Yeah.
because somebody else might not. like me or think I'm weird or whatever, you know what? They're living from their own
Yeah.
patterns and programming themselves. Who gives a crap?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's so good. Sorry. I'm literally just like
Oh, I can imagine.
getting back to reality. So good. I love it. I love where you're at right now. This is a beautiful place to be. And I love hearing you like teach, because you learn something and then you teach it. And then it like, it helps you understand it and solidifies it. And I just love that.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? It's so amazing, Miranda, because it's all right there in scripture.
Mm, that's what I love.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
There was a few things that I learned on Sunday night that were like super powerful. Number one, okay, Romans 12:2. It says, "Do not be conformed to the patterns of the world,
Yeah.
but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so you can test and approve of what his good, pleasing, and perfect will is."
Love it.
All of that stuff, it's a pattern.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
cycle. It's a conditioning. It's a
Mhm.
pattern of the world. It's not even of him.
Yeah.
Like, hallelujah, because so many people, me included, thought that there is like something inherently wrong, with them. And it's just like,
Yeah.
no, actually, there isn't. There is nothing wrong with anybody.
Yeah.
It's the shit that we've learned that we think is okay or that is normal or that it's of God. And it's not. And it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, we just have to relearn the good, the beautiful, the love. That is the thing.
Love it.
And then,
So good.
he says, we see through a stained glass window. We see dimly through a stained glass window. Why is that? Well, it's because of the patterns that we have all experienced that have been impressed upon us and then how what meaning we give to a certain word because what one word means to our creator is not necessarily what we believe it means,
Yeah.
just like the word azer. Azer is a very, very powerful, powerful word. And it's related to the Holy Spirit. Well, you know what?
Mm,
That was the term that he gave us as women. That's what he gave us.
mm.
And so it's changing those thoughts and those patterns so that we live in his will.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's why we see dimly through a stained glass because of the meanings and that we have with words and experiences that we have had.
mm.
I mean,
Love it.
it's just like,
So good. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Whew. Oh my girl, you're on fire today. I love
Oh,
it.
I can't even tell you. I'm just like, yeah. Like I
Love it.
said, the one time a bulldozer with jet fuel.
Yes. Very cool. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm
You
ready
feeling?
to, I'm just like ready to get back at it, just gotta take a breath.
Mhm.
It's crazy how you like need a vacation from your vacation, but
Oh my gosh, right?
just
Hmm.
a lot of thoughts. It's all good though.
Yeah. Well, I
to play
encourage
your,
you to like write those things, like those thoughts down
yeah,
and like look at them and analyze that and be like, okay, how is this helping me?
yeah,
What what feeling is this giving me? How is this
yep,
contributing positively to where I want to go?
yep,
And then and then kicking those crappers to the curb.
yep.
Like,
I love it.
yeah, well, and that's why he says we are overcomers. Like, we're overcomers.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I mean, again, you are just on fire. You're a great teacher. I love how you bring scripture back to it. I mean, and you know what I love is like us just being like raw. And I kind of want to maybe put that in there somewhere. Like, you know what? We're walking through this the same as you. We are not like experts. We don't have it figured out. Come along because it's fun and we get to do this together. And I just think there's something super powerful about vulnerability and just being honest and like, come along for the ride. You're
Yeah.
just like us. We're just like you. That's what connected the two of us.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I'm not the only one thinking all these thoughts. That's really reassuring that we can go through this life together in
Right.
community.
Yes. And we don't have to continue having those thoughts. Like, that's where so much hope comes in.
100%. Yes. Yeah.
And yes, will they come up here and there at times? They will, but you're going to be prepared. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like, get on the armor. And one of the things that is totally mind blowing is in Ephesians 6, where it's talking about the whole armor. So I love in the Passion Translation where it says in Ephesians, it's combined in the Passion Translation. So it's 6:17 and 18. So it says, embrace the power of salvation's full deliverance like a helmet to protect your thoughts from lies
Mm,
and take the mighty razor sharp spirit sword of the spoken word of Yahweh. Pray passionately in the spirit as you constantly intercede with every form of prayer at all times. Pray the blessings of Yahweh upon all his believers.
mm. Yeah.
Protect your thoughts from lies.
Mm. Yeah.
That's what those things are. When like the judger, that's lies.
Yep.
Love is all about truth. And it's
Yep.
like, cut that mofo off. It's like,
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah. Yes. Love that. And again, we can literally just be like, hey, this is the book we're reading and we're walking through this. Because the thing is, for me, like it's scary at first. It's hard at first because this is a whole new, you have to like stop
Hmm.
and like really be intentional about, and this is where I'm not very good at this. This is why it's really good to be talking to somebody that's doing the same thing because I need a reminder of like, hey, stop. And like, is that serving you? Because when I go throughout my day, like I literally can see me going throughout my day, my thoughts are going, and I just keep going. And I don't like take the time to stop and ask myself, is this serving you? No. What's a different thought that you can have?
Yeah.
And I just know we're not the only people walking through life listening to lies and judging ourselves and da 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 da. Da. So anyway,
Yeah.
I
And
love it.
it's like one of the highest forms of self-love.
Mm,
It,
yeah.
it really is.
Hmm.
And, I'm just like, I have gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I am so so done.
Yeah.
Living in the crappy thoughts. It's not where I want to be. It's never going to produce what I really desire in my heart. It isn't.
Yeah.
I also think it's very important to like, oh, I see where this thought came from. I see this pattern, to have mercy and compassion for ourselves and have
Yeah.
grace and be like, oh, and then it's like, ooh, guess what? Guess what I get to do? I get to change it. I get to change it
Yeah.
and I get to really be me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you know how freaking powerful that this is? Like, I can't even tell you the energy that I feel just like barreling through my body.
I
Just
love it.
like,
I love it. Yeah, this will be a good one to just like rewatch, I feel like a great reminder because yeah, it's good.
yeah,
Awesome.
I'll send you the recording here.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I honestly don't think I have to cut a lot out. I might literally just cut a tiny bit. But what I think I can do is literally upload to YouTube. And I think you can put in GPT because I would love to get like a quick summary. Like, here's a title, here's a quick summary of what we talked about. You know what I mean? And because somehow we're gonna have to, I mean, maybe it's the date and a title, but like somehow categorize or whatever.
Down.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
but no, I'm excited. I love where you're at and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful, like to see you on freaking fire, so much energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're exactly where you're meant to be right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's spilling over.
Amen.
So,
Amen. All right, girl. Well, that
okay.
was a blessing. Great to connect for
Yeah.
sure. All righty.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Have a good day,
Okay. Love you.
Miranda.
You too.
Love you
Bye bye.
too. Bye.